doing. It's just making sure we're running. Bleh. Bleh. There we go. Hope everyone's doing good. Yeah, the Cubs. This is how far behind I am. It's the 27th of May is the game we're going to. Yesterday the Cubs won. Jarrell Cotton pitched like 7 innings, and I don't think he gave up any runs. I'm going to put him into the rotation now. So saith me. Kyle Hendricks looks ready to go now. For some reason, they had Brad Wick or whatever his name is in. He was gonna be filling in the spot, but that's dumb. So I didn't do that. I forgot to look who's pitching. Who's pitching? Pablo Lopez. Okay, they're right-handed. Good, good, good. So that means we put Bryant there. I keep forgetting that. Oh, Anthony Rizzo's back. Oh no! I mean, it's great. But Victor Caratini was filling in. So I guess so yeah, Anthony Rizzo goes in the 2-hole. Sorry, Schwarber. And then I'm going to put Nico Horner in. Oh wait, no. What I've been doing is, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Ian Happ at second, and then I'm gonna put Almora in center field. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it going here. I'm gonna put on a sweater. I'm a little nippy. I like to wear a Cubs thing, but I guess I had my Cubs hoodies, or a zip up. Hoodie's right here. I was wearing a Transformers one earlier, but I guess this will do. This will work, and it's more themed. So here we go. Cubs versus Marlins. Bada-boo-boo-boo. Wow, the Marlins actually have a good record. I would not have guessed that. And in reality, I highly doubt that they're going. Who knows? But I doubt that they'll have that sort of record. Kyle Hendricks, 11 starts this year, 5-3 on the year with a 3.25 ERA, which is higher than you would think, but that just shows how good he is. 1.19 WHIP, 47 strikeouts through 63 innings. That's about what I'm expecting him to actually pitch like. Is around somewhere around there. And then I will
leading off for
do that.
The second baseman.
Here we go.
Whoa, that's him.
Kyle Hendricks. He's one of my favorite pitchers to watch. Actually, I know that sounds weird because he's not fancy, but he's very precise.
706.
They call him the professor, but I call him the doctor because he's like a surgeon. Just there, like just placing it perfect. So yeah, we'll probably give Gerald a call here at some point. We'll see. Or Trent, my friend Trent. I messaged him last night. He got back to me. I forgot to get back to him today. We played some phone tag. Sorry, I'm burping. It's not very professional. Oh, ground ball to Javier Baez. Javier Baez picks it up, does it, and he's out. It's a good play because that guy had some speed. He had an 82 speed. Miguel Rojas. That's who it was. Oh, never mind. That Miguel Rojas is the same as now. I don't know who it was who was just there, but they had speed. They had speed. They had guile. I all of a sudden got really hungry too, so I might eat cereal or a sandwich in front of me. And I apologize. Because that's gross.
1-1.
But I might do it still. There's the umpires. I think was that Ricky Holiday. It said was the home plate. I didn't realize they have numbers on their accoutrement. I guess the clothes count as accoutrement. And now I need to look up the exact definition.
That was accoutrement. The left fielder is 23.
Additional items of dress or equipment. For other items carrying on items. So I mean, it could be accoutrement if it's. I don't know if it's extra to have a sleeve. I mean, at what point is something additional? But I mean, you don't. Certainly, a number on your sleeve could be an accoutrement, as it's not necessary to wear on an item of clothing. You would think, especially when you're an umpire. So I'm going to stand by my use of accoutrement. Yeah. I hope that's okay with y'all. Ooh.
1 ball.
1 and 2 to Corey Dickerson. 2.
Ball. 10.
2 and 2 to Corey Dickerson. Holding back. Oh, man. Strike 3. All right. Chris Bryant's up. At 329, 6th in the NL.
Oh, yeah.
Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to. Warm it up, Chris. So I'm going to do. Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to.
Hey.
Oh, hit it right down the line into the shift. That's why they shifted on them. The third baseman was basically almost playing on the line.
Batting second. The first baseman, Anthony.
Here comes Anthony Rizzo. He's back. Yippee! Yippee! Let's see if he can do some stuff here. Brushing off the DL. Victor Caratini filled in for him. Victor did an admirable job filling in. I don't know his exact numbers as the everyday first baseman, but he probably played at least a week. Ooh, Anthony's once back at it. He wants back at it. He's like, I'm back, and oh! It's deep. It looks like it was misplayed. Is it gone? Wow! Welcome back to Chicago, Anthony Rizzo. Home run, touch 'em all. He wastes no time getting back into the mix and making a difference for the team. I'm glad I saw that he was back. Yeah. The right field, the wind must be blowing out because the right fielder came in at first there. And it just boomed. And now Ian Happ. Can they go back to back? Ian Happ's, I think, has been swinging it pretty okay lately. Been starting to show his power. But we'll see. 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. I got 3-2. Here
comes the 3-2 pitch. Ooh, fouls it off. It was borderline. Might have been a strike. Good job to keep it going. 3-2 payoff pitch. And oh, down the line, but it got to. It gotten to. Wilson Contreras is up now. Leads the #1 in the NL with 21 home runs. Like I said, he's on. Were he to continue at this pace, he would hit like 60 home runs, which is a lot, for sure.
2 balls, no strikes.
I don't know if he'll be batting cleanup in the. I mean, I guess he could. I don't know who's going to bat cleanup for the Cubs this year. It's actually a good question. I think it's going to go Bryant, Rizzo, and then I don't know what. I don't know. Schwarber might be probably is somewhere in the 3-4-5. I guess Contreras is probably somewhere. Ooh, he makes the walk. Contreras probably somewhere in the 3-4-5, and Cap somewhere in the 3-4-5. But I don't know how they'll place them in there. So we'll see. Here's a big question mark: is Jason Hayward? What kind of player is he going to be offensively? I think he put together a pretty good, an okay season this year. It's there. I think that's going to be. Oh, it's going to be the double. Are they going to send Happ? They are sending Happ. Here could be a play at the plate. No, he fakes the play to home, and Jason Hayward gets an RBI double, and he feels pretty good about it. Well, now Javi Baez is up with a runner in scoring position. I'm sure he wants to jump all over this business of scoring runs.
Count 1-0.
A walk. A walk from Contreras and from Baez. Cubs taking their walks, that's, especially Baez, he does not do that often, although I think he's been doing it better this year. Now Kay Schwartz is up. They're making this a heck of the fourth so far. The first so far. I mean, a home run right here could really be good for the Cubs. But they have been messing up leads lately. Like big leads, they've really effed up pretty bad. It was mostly a few weeks ago. Or well, I don't know how many games ago it was. it was at least 2 or 3 weeks ago of me filming these things. But, oof. Now, he's still feeling pretty good about getting 2 runs there early with Kyle Hendricks. He's pretty good.
Leading off for Miami, the first baseman, Jesus Aguilar.
Hey! No ball, 2 strikes. I got the count 1 and 2. Two, count.
That is it. The third baseman, Brian Anderson.
He's out. Got him.
That is it. The catcher, Jorge Alfaro.
I got the count 0 and 2.
Yeah, put sauerkraut on. That's baseball gamey, right? You put sauerkraut on things.
Nope, that's down. Did it go? Count full.
Oh, down the line, but now 3 good hits, 2 outs.
Leading off from the Cubs, the center fielder, Albert Alvarez.
That sandwich actually made me more hungry. So now I'm warming up pizza. But I'm gonna go exercise maybe. Maybe. It's a little move.
That's outside.
Ooh, Albert Almora Jr. The 3-0. Assuming he's just not gonna swing at this next pitch. Let's see if he can get a walk so he can get. He's got decent speed, so you hope he'll be able to front over.
Ball four. Perfect.
And 4 pitches. 4 balls. Albert,
Batting ninth, the pitcher, Kyle Hendricks.
now Hendricks is up. And presumably, he's just going to try and bunt, is what you would think here. No outs. Yeah. Oh, it's not caught, but they might get the guy a second. No, they're getting nobody at any pace. Wow. A little bit of a pop-up there. It just couldn't. Well, now Chris Bryant's former MVP, former Rookie of the Year, with 2 men on and nobody out. So yeah. Ooh, strike one.
0-1 is the count.
Bryant is on a 5-game hitting streak, so which is modest, but it ain't nothing.
Ball.
The guy's got a sign. It's like, yeah, this is what that's his moment. This is what he's been waiting for. Oof.
Count was 1 and 2.
This didn't look good to me at that time. Strike 3.
The first baseman, number 44, Anthony Rizzo.
Well, it was unfortunate Chris struck out, but coming to bat, the guy who knocked the dong earlier, oh, I forgot to do the donger right. After this at bat, I'll do a retroactive donger light for him. It'd be really nice if he hit another one so that way I could just double up on it. It would make more sense. Ooh, strike 1.
The count is 2-1. Ball 3.
Ooh, 3-1. So even though Anthony was anxious to get back and hit that home run, now he's still got a keen eye, it appears. So here's the 3-1 pitch.
One
Oof.
down. 3-2.
3-2. And now here's the question: is if you have the runners move, because Rizzo doesn't strike out a lot, so I'd maybe have the runners go here on 3-2. You know, Mora's got decent. I think he's like around a 70, so he's got decent speed. Like he could steal third on his own. Ugh. But I guess it's good that they didn't do that there because they probably would have got caught. For one of them.
Number 8, second baseman, Ian Happ.
1 ball, 1 strike. Whoa, that's kicked out.
Here we go. Ian spent a lot of time in AAA last year. That's not an option this year because the AAA season probably isn't going to exist.
The count is full, 3-2.
And the MLB basically gutted the minor league system to save a measly couple $1 million.
That's outside, ball 4.
Which is very sad to me.
Now batting, catcher, Wilson. John Harris.
Was Contreras up? Walked him in the first. Nowhere to really walk. I mean, the bases are loaded, so you can't really. That's not an option without letting a run come in. So we'll see how they approach this at bat. Wilson was signed out of Venezuela. I'm assuming that means he's also from Venezuela. I don't think he just was on a vacation in Venezuela and then they signed him there. And then he's from there.
Ball, 1 strike.
One and one for Wilson. 2 and 1. Keep in mind, Pablo Lopez has thrown over 50 pitches and it's only the second inning. Strike, too. So the bullpen probably going to be getting some work today for the Marlins. Oh, that was high. Are you kidding me? Wow. Well, Pablo Lopez just got saved by a bad call. And, yeah, so I guess that's the end of the second.
Leading off for the Marlins, the right fielder, Matt George.
Matt George will call Gerald.
Ball, that's outside.
Batting it, the center fielder, Monte.
Good
evening.
Mr. Gerald presents Gerald Saddle Penis. How you doing?
Living, laughing, loving.
Yeah. I know what that tattoo says on your lower back. You don't have to tell me.
Hey!
Is this the show? You doing the thing?
I am doing the thing.
I see.
I actually would find it really interesting to look at like when I started doing it and now, because when I started I was like putting on like doing my hair nice and putting on a jacket, and now I'm just like my hair's all fucked up and I'm in like a t-shirt and a hoodie, like and my
it's like the difference between you on a first date and then on a second date.
yeah, exactly.
That's 2 and 2.
The funniest part about that is you assume I get second dates.
Oh.
But yeah, so you missed comedy night on Monday.
The pitcher, number 49.
Comedy's back,
Top low.
and there was very few people there. Billy came out, and it was me and Billy were the only, and then this other guy. But he was like, I'm going to do a George Carlin thing. And I was like, don't do other people's material. I was a little drunk by then. And I was like, don't. I was like, don't do that. And then Nancy hosted.
Well, that seems worth the risk for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was easy to social distance.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I just wanted to go see, and Lance was going, so I just went with there and saw how things, and they remodeled some downstairs. Like the stage is like doesn't have those like dead spots now.
Oh, good.
Like the slumps in them that you could like fall through at any moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
I'm aware.
Those aren't there anymore. So that's something. But I actually thought more people were going to come just for the fact that protests were still going on, and it's one of the few bars open for that. But I think most people were just using the bathroom upstairs.
The right fielder.
That's another thing about that is doing it while the protests are still going on. Like,
Yeah.
take a break from trying to fight for equality by wasting your time.
Come have a laugh. Come have a laugh. You gotta remember how to laugh, you know. Otherwise, what's it all for if you can't laugh? How dumb was it that they arrested one of the leaders of the protest group, and like they're holding him without bail. It's like, have they never seen a movie or read a book about what that does to people's causes when you lock up a leader and won't let them out? Like,
yeah, it's
like, how stupid. Like, do they think that's going to quell things?
that'll scare them all.
Yes. No, everyone hates a martyr. Like,
listen, once Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested, that was the end of his career.
Exactly. Barely heard from him. But not only that, they're holding him without bail. So it's like, what's his name? The guy who killed George Floyd, his bail was $1 million, but it was still a bail for murder. This guy they've got on some fucking spray paint charges, like putting hot pink spray paint on a bill and like kicking a fence over, and he can't have any bail. I mean, usually isn't bail for flight risks. It's like, I don't think the person who's fighting for equality here is gonna go take a plane somewhere else.
They're worried he'll go to Washington D.C. and protest there.
Yeah. So yeah. It's also, I'm a little surprised that their demands aren't that crazy. Like, some of them are like, obviously would be too hard to get, but I was like, I was really surprised. Like, there should be 3 or 4 crazy demands. You know what I mean? That you can concede when you're in like a meeting. Like when you're negotiating, you need to have 2 or 3 things that you had no intention of actually getting.
Like, no more dipped Skittles. They're terrible.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, well, we can't do anything about that. And they're like, okay, well, we'll concede that, but... But, yeah, the Cubs are winning 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. It's, so that's how that's going at the moment. How's the old things for you? Are you still are they Are you going back to work remotely anytime soon, or no? Or
Yeah, probably, but it's unclear how much that'll be.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I'm content to keep collecting checks.
yeah. No, it's great. When I was on unemployment, oh boy, and I got so much done creatively.
Now batting, the pitcher.
And what was messed up is I was just like, and I do understand why people won't get other, like, if you can't get a job that's anywhere close to what you're getting on unemployment or what you were getting at your old job, it's like, I was like, I don't want to go work at Gamers for 40 hours a week and make $100 less than when I'm on unemployment, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, yeah. If it's less money than we're making, you don't.
Is that part of the? Is that one of the caveats? Is that you don't have to? You don't have to go to a thing that's less. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can turn down job offers that are for less money.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the thing.
I don't remember exactly how much it is. It's there's some formula you got to apply to how much you were making. And
yeah.
Then,
Leading off for Miami.
but yeah.
The second baseman, Jonathan.
Interesting.
Right now they're like waiving the work search requirement, but I think that's because they couldn't possibly keep up with that much information.
Oh God, no. And also with COVID stuff, it's just like they don't want to have, you know, no one's, and who's taking interviews right now anyway? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's having 10 strangers from all around the city coming and shaking their hands? Like, no. I'm pretty excited about never having to shake anyone's hand ever again. I will say that. Aren't you excited about that? I'm for the bow. I want the bow.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Maybe.
Just kind of the. Are you? What are your feelings on the bow? I'm not doing the elbow fucking nonsense. That's fucking silly. That's absurd. I won't have it. I won't have it. But I like the bow. I think the bow is classy.
It can also be douchey though, like when celebrities bow.
Yeah, but they always do it like the end of speeches or something. You know what I mean? Well, they'll be like, they always make it about, it's a pageantry thing with that when they do it. And I think we can reclaim it. I think that's the problem, is it's only being done right now in stupid ways. I do like that. You see that Curb episode, right? There's a thing where this guy apologizes to Larry with like a bow, but it's not like a very big because you know the traditional bow is like almost like 45 degrees of like a full greeting of respect and and also apparently it can be used as an apology, but like Larry finds another dude and was like, hey, this guy gave me a bow that was about like this, and the guy was like, oh, that's a shit bow. He was like, yeah, that's like not like he based that he didn't mean it, and he was like, oh, and I don't know, it's really funny. Oh Larry,
old scamp learn.
Yeah, that old scamp, old LD. I did.
That's the thing about that show is that with Larry's character, it's like in the real world, people stay assholes because nothing bad really happens to them. But if everything bad you ever did came back to bite you, ironically, stop doing that stuff. But
he's too. Oh shit! Are they gonna get him? Oh shit! But he's too. What's the word? He's too stubborn. You know? He's
sociopaths understand this.
Yeah, but he's very principled. He's stubborn in his principles. And I gotta tell you, more often than not, I agree with what he's with him most of the time.
I don't have principles, but I have vice principles.
Vice City. I saw someone post a thing and I looked it up and I didn't realize this. But someone said, you know how people like do like the things like the thin blue line and like all that sort of stuff, but like now there's like things making fun of that where it's like a line for everything.
Yeah.
Have you seen the thin bread line?
Maybe.
It's pizza delivery drivers. Because and what I've looked up seems like this is true. Apparently, it's like twice as dangerous to be a pizza delivery driver than it is a police officer. And so somebody posted it where they were just like, "I'm a veteran," is what they said, and they're like, "You're welcome for my service." And I was thinking about posting it, but I do on the same for me since I was a delivery driver as well. But there's certain things, there's cost benefit analysis I do with posting on Facebook where I just don't. Where am I going to have to just delete this from the stupid conversations that the people in my current town and the people from my hometown have that don't know each other?
Yes, this is the world that we live in now, and
yeah, I mean, it's funny when people from and there's more people of color there now than there were, but it's so funny when people from my hometown comment about race, about anything about race, when I'm just like, what are you like? You have no idea. Like, there's like when I grew up there, you could like count on like two hands, like how many like black people were in town. You know what I mean? Of like if you saw a black person, you're like, who's that guy? I haven't seen that guy before. Like that's how much of a rarity it was in the town I grew up in, to see people of color. But people still seem to have really, really, very specific and very not convincing. Very, they feel very strongly about race for people that aren't around other races most of the time. Even in Iowa City, I mean, we're still not that diverse as we are for Iowa, maybe. But
yeah, I mean, that's part of it, though, is fearing the unknown.
Sure. Yeah, and when you have nothing to work with but when all you have to work with is stereotypes because you literally don't know. I don't know. But, man, I found a bunch of old baseball cards. They sure are worth not very much money for the most part.
Didn't have any Cal Ripkins?
I've got a Cal Ripken, I think, in there. There was one or two. I actually got all excited because I had one, but it was like not the... Because the ones that are worth the most are like the mistake prints.
Right, yeah.
So there was one that I had where it's like the reverse of it is... And all I saw of it was that, and I was like, oh, I have that! And then I found out it was like literally like some sort of like aqueous test print. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like was a test printing and it's reversed. Or like there's a Frank Thomas card that like the regular Frank Thomas card is still a lot, but like there's a Frank Thomas card where his name is missing. Like the header's there for the name and then there's just nothing. And so there was a run of those where they just forgot to put Frank Thomas's name in it. Stuff like that. There's also a George Bush card, like the senior, like that's worth a lot of money. I haven't found that. I don't have one of those, but there's like, and it's like from him when he played at Yale, so it's from like 1930 whatever.
Oh, George Bush.
Yes, old George Bush Senior. Old probably helped assassinate JFK Sr. I was gonna say, I can't remember. I also tried putting on pairs of pants I hadn't in a very long time on Monday, and I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No one, no
I thought not drinking as much as I did would counteract any weight gain, but apparently doing the cardio I was doing before everything was very, very important to not losing weight or to not gaining weight, I should say.
Well, you just have to settle for a nice skirt this summer, I guess.
A nice loose sundress is what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
Oh no! Oh, caught at the warning track by Kyle Schwarber, thankfully. Yeah, although Plant Fitness opened back up, so I've been
The center fielder, Monte.
going back.
Free pizza.
Yes. Yeah, I hate that they do shit like that. I hate it. Like when they have like Tootsie Rolls and shit. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, don't have this here. This shouldn't be the place where I'm like, don't get me wrong, willpower, blah 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 blah. But I don't want this to be a place where I have temptations. Like, you shouldn't have two tiny pieces of candy on a desk for free that'll cancel out my whole workout that I'm about to do.
It's like when they have a Playboy at your barber shop, and you're like, what am I not
Yeah,
supposed
to
to
jerk off in the bathroom. That is always weird. That's a standard thing. Is that the old barber shops had nudie magazines, especially considering that you get like a gown put over you. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying. There was a funny Fred Willard joke. Where he was from Modern Family. He plays one of the lead's dads in it. He plays Phil's dad, and they were talking about the barber shop, and the dad was like, "You saw your first naked lady here, if I'm not mistaken," and he's like, "I sure did," and he said so, and then they old crossing guard, whatever her name was, and yeah, she's a great crossing guard, but when she went crazy, she went all out. But I don't know. It's a good joke. Assuming it's a magazine, and it was just someone running around town naked.
Barbershop. It's an American institution.
Yeah, I would go for the old timey, the old straight edge, the shampoo and the old straight edge thing. Like a big razor.
That would be you edging.
Yes, yeah. I make them do it. I have them shave half of my face, and then I make them stop for a minute, and then I keep going. But sorry, someone's calling. I don't know who it is. The 515 number. But that and the little vibrator hand things they have for shoulder massages. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
They're little, they almost look like, how you can put a blood pressure thing on your finger? They look like those, but it's a vibrator. And they use it to they use it as a shoulder massage thing. There's also that good Community line where he's where they talk about goes to an Italian barber shop, and he's like, Italians are known for having nimble fingers for pleasing their mistresses. Oh boy. So, did you watch all the Rick and Mortys this season?
Yes, I did.
It was a very good season, I felt like.
They're all good.
Yes.
It's a given at this point.
Yes. But I feel like I rewatched almost all of them a couple times at least. And I don't always do that right away. I come back to them and rewatch, but I watched that Vat of Acid episode probably 10 times. It's just so strange. So, so wait, in the finale, spoilers alerts for people who haven't seen the Rick and Morty. So wait, the daughters thing is like, I guess she is a daughter from a different. He's from a different universe, right?
Yes.
Okay. But I do like that he didn't want to know. I think that makes him more human. Is that he didn't want to treat the clone differently than the other daughter. If that makes sense. Because why else do it? Why else do that? You know?
Sure, that could be it.
Why else would you do that? If he didn't want to know which was which, what would be the point?
So that he could sleep with one of them and be like, "Oh, this isn't my daughter."
It's not it's a clone. It's a whole new subgenre of porn, where step porn is now clone porn.
You're my sister.
Your clone sister. I wasn't born from our mother. I was born from a fingernail from your actual sister. So it's different.
Yeah, and you've been jerking off to those fingernails for years, so.
Oh boy. Well, the Cubs were winning, and now it's 2-2. Jason Hayward looked real bad.
What does it have to do with ballerinas?
2-2. Yes, good one. Nice one, Gerald. Gerald, do you ever watch Jeopardy? Is Jeopardy on an 8?
I don't know when Jeopardy is on.
Yeah.
I know if I go into Deadwood at noon, it'll be on there.
Yeah. Fair. I love Jeopardy. I'm sad that I haven't watched Jeopardy for the last 8 years, because like once I got rid of cable, I stopped watching it on the regular. But that's one of my favorite shows. And I feel so behind, and I'm in a trivia thing, like an everyday, a once a day, like 6-question trivia thing. And I haven't been doing very well. Although it's harder. It's kind of hard. And it's interesting because you bet points, like you get 1-0 amount of points to wager, and you get 2 1s and 2 2s. Once again, got no ballerinas again, and then a 3. Oh, it's deep, it's back. Oh, but it's gonna be off the wall for a double, or no, not even a double, just a single, because they only had a guy on first and they weren't sure if it was gonna clear. So that keeps a 16-game hitting streak alive for Javier Baez. I had no idea Baez had that long of a hitting streak going, but he does. But so you wager points based on what you think they won't get. So like what the other person you're playing won't get. So if there's a question that you're able to look at what their scores are on topics. So there's like 15 different like categories, and you'll see what their record is on them, so you can wager like the points, so you don't get to decide how many points you get. Like my first win, I think, came against when I got 1 or 2 and the other person got like 3. Like right. Because they had wagered the one that I got for 3 points because they didn't think I'd get it, and the ones that 2 or 3 that they got, I wagered like 0s and 1s.
Wow. Well, I'd be good at the hot topics.
Yes. Hot topics. I'm interested to see what the mall looks like nowadays.
Yeah. I went to the Taste of China in Iowa City the other day, and they had built this like this whole frame thing.
Yeah.
The kitchen from, you know, and the place where they were taking orders, and they had a little drawer that you put your card into.
Yeah, China House did that. Is it you went to Taste of China or China House? Because China House did exactly that. What?
Taste of China.
Okay.
Miguel.
Because I went to... Wait, which one's that?
It's in Iowa City by the DMV.
Okay. Okay. Well, I went to the China House is the one that used to be Hunan, right? Or Hunan.
Maybe?
Yeah.
It's kind of
But
way behind
by Taco John's, yeah. That one they built a whole, like, you can't even go like the door opens and and you can walk like 4 feet in, and then there is like the same sort of thing where it's like a thing that was like built, like a wooden, like plywood, like but thick, but like it's like a structure. It's like a structure, and it has like the It's basically like a taxi cab type thing, right?
Yeah. Sort of, yeah.
I mean, the bars are doing sort of that. Some of them are, where they're putting like plexiglass up. But I don't know. It's still, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how.
Well, if you enjoyed The Bank, you're gonna love Everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, oh the bank. That bank. Top of the 6th, Kyle Hendricks pitching to Corey Dickerson. Corey Dickerson. Anything you can do with that, Gerald?
I hardly know her, son.
Yes. Dickerson, why not her? What's Dickerson? What's going on with her? What's she been up to? Oh man.
Well, that's all.
Did you still then watch? Are you just not gonna watch Space Force, or is it just very?
I don't care to watch it.
Okay,
There's enough good things to watch.
fair. I'm enjoying Hannibal so far.
It's great.
Some of the writing is very bad, very expository bad, where it's just like you're just getting a bunch of information out that doesn't make any sense other than to get information out. But overall, it's pretty good, and it's very well acted, and it's very well filmed. And Mads Mikkelsen, I've always thought he was fine in everything else I've watched. But after I watched this, I was like, oh, that's why he started getting cast in everything. Was because he's so good in that.
Now pitching for the Marlins. Number 9.
He's a killer. I just watched that episode of Sherlock. The one where it's the celebrity that runs the hospital.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like it okay.
The drug trip is good.
The drug trip, what? Oh, how he's like, when he hangs out with his sister, but he doesn't know it?
Nope, that's it.
Yeah. Or the, yeah. It's, I do like, actually one of my favorite moments is when that drone with the grenade is in the room. And it's Mycroft and Sherlock and John. And they're all being like really not, like, they're all realizing they're probably going to die. So they're like being really like kind to each, like just saying very kind things to, like agreeing on everything and like saying very kind words to each other. When Sherlock says the thing about about Mycroft's lady whatever from the play. When he's like, you did a wonderful job as Lady Bracknell or whatever. And he was like, I always wondered. And he's like, yeah. And of course, then later Sherlock takes it back, and it was like, you weren't very good.
Sherlock.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do. I realized that both Benedict. I wonder if they just don't. If Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch just don't want to do it again.
I'm sure they will at some point.
Yeah. Because they were like, oh, and I get it, because they're both like high in demand actors, but they could use that excuse forever of not having both of their schedules be able to sync up. Because pretty much anyone else, it's in that, would want to do that first. Did you watch Fleabag on Amazon?
I have not.
I've heard that's amazing. I don't know why I haven't checked it out. I mean, I don't have Amazon, but Chris Bryant hits it deep to center, but God.
Well, I'm afraid of no bag, so I will flee them.
You won't flee the bag. But the Moriarty guy plays. He's known as the hot priest in it. Like, so I'm not sure exactly, but I don't know if she's trying to fuck him, but she's definitely attracted to him as the priest. So that's kind of funny. He definitely was someone that when I first was like, that's Moriarty, I was kind of a little let down, but as it progressed, I started to like him more and more.
Certainly committed to the bit, that Moriarty.
Yeah. He did till the bitter end. And then some, and then after the end.
That'd be a fun thing to do. And that's something that, like if you're somebody, like, reviled and like, the most, like, if you're Osama bin Laden, like, totally record messages to be released in the future as though you were still alive.
Yeah.
Just to sow chaos.
Yeah.
Like,
especially if you disappeared if you were, like, gone, if, like, there was no body found or anything, or, like, disappeared under mysterious circumstances, like, that could be very, very interesting. Moriarty. But, yeah. Who's your favorite Moriarty? Do you like him or do you like the Robert Downey Jr. guy? I always forget his name. Always.
Jared something.
Yes, yeah. It's always something that doesn't make him sound nearly as British as he is.
He's a great actor. It's too bad he's not in more stuff.
Jared Harris, right?
Harris, yeah.
I think it's funny.
He's the main bad guy in the first season of Fringe.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
He also it's funny that he plays General Grant in Lincoln.
Yeah.
It's funny that Daniel Day-Lewis and Jared Harris, two of the most not American people, play two of the biggest. That's like the movie The Patriot, where it's Heath Ledger and Mel Gibson. It's like two Australians playing the Americans.
Wait a minute, you're telling me that movie isn't about Tom Brady? I'm taking it off my list.
Sorry, it's young Tom Brady. You always assume Tom Brady was a vampire and he just ages, every few decades, is like a few years.
You know, the Hessian soldiers, those were the real patriots.
Were they paid? Is that what you're saying? Were they
mercenaries?
Yeah. Nice. Hessians. Ah, I did not know that. They're German. They were Germans hired by the British. Did you know? I told you that Jerry Stiller was almost Hesh in The Sopranos. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like, because I would say that Hesh is one of the more, even though he's like funny, he's like his tone is often very serious. And I don't think Jerry Stiller, I can't imagine him having that tone ever.
Maybe. He does that kind of thing in one episode of Homicide: Life on the Streets.
Oh, he's in Homicide: Life on the Streets?
Yes.
Really?
He's like a bartender, but he's like he's not acting wacky, but the things he's doing are just kind of weird.
Okay.
Like when he pours the glass from the tap, he like breaks the glass afterwards.
Okay.
He's like, it'll never be as good as what it just got, so I'm destroying it.
Yeah. That's fair. That's like if you've ever visited a brewery, or I know you're not really a beer drinker, but whenever you go to like a brewery and you go on their like tour, you're getting like the beer that was like you're getting the freshest beer you're ever going to drink in your entire life, because it's like just got made, like it just got undone. And same thing with like we went to oh gosh, what's the name of that? They have a root beer and a cream soda, and the bottles are really big, and they have them around here. What? No. It's a Wisconsin. God, I'm telling you, man, my brain is leaving me.
AMW?
No.
They're Wisconsin-based, right?
A&W?
No, wait, that's Culver's.
I was gonna say A&W. I thought was like owned by the Mormons. It is. Give me 1 second. Or it's Sprecher. Sprecher? Is that the name? Hold on.
Your attention, please. Big hitting for Miami. Number 26, Garrett.
Yeah, Sprecher Brewery. It's in yeah, it's in around Milwaukee. But they've got their cream soda is one of the best cream sodas I've ever had. They have it at Film Scene, or they used to. But and ironically, they only started making pop and stuff because oh, here's the other thing that's cool about it is they don't have any like all their pops for they use honey as the sweetener. Because someone's like, how comes there's no diet whatever, and they're like, because we use Wisconsin honey for our like, so it's like we can't use fake honey for the diet whatever. But it was what they were saying was when they originally started making pop, they only did it because they felt bad because kids would be on the tour with their parents and just wouldn't have anything to do. So then they started making like a cola and a root beer and then someone asked them, they were like, well, how much do you sell now? And they're like, we sell more of our cola than all of our beers combined. Which it amazes me that more breweries don't do that, because pop, you don't have to make pop, like, you don't have to have it wait and sit forever, to be done. I think it's easier to make, and also it's cheaper probably, as far as what you're putting, like, so it's just like, why wouldn't every brewery, and then also, why wouldn't you want to get younger kids into your brand before they're of age to drink, so that when they start drinking, they'll say, well, I like this root beer that I've been drinking since I was 8. I wonder what their real beer is like.
Yeah, you're right. Do the candy cigarette.
Exactly. It's like a more ethical candy cigarette, somewhat. But, yeah. Well, Wilson Contreras is up with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. I think he's about due for a home run, even though he's 1 for 2 on the day. He has a walk, I believe, as well. Ooh, takes a strike.
0-1.
Had a little bit of writer's block with the story, Gerald. I might I might intentionally, just to get the storyline that we had written down, write it in script form, but knowingly that it's not as good as I want it to be, and then come back at it, just so we can have it down on paper. And then there's 1 or 2 other storylines I've been messing with for it anyway. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see here. Ooh.
Shit.
So are you... Here's the other question. Do you think buffets are going to return ever? And if so, how long before you will go back to a buffet?
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, maybe, I don't know how soon, maybe people, I mean, if... What? Something big happened?
Up next with the Cubs.
It was
Right fielder.
it was just it was caught, but it was hit real hard and it went to the warning track. So yes and no. It was a really long out. But Jason Hayward's up. He's 2 for 3 on the day. He could maybe do something here.
Ball one.
Opa!
Oprah!
You haven't heard much about Oprah these days, do you?
Yeah, does she have a show still ever? No, probably.
Feels like a network, doesn't she?
She did. Was it just called, was it O? Was it O? Literally O? And there was a magazine, right? That was called O.
Oh, it's magic?
Oh, it's Oprah. You know. Yeah. I think Ellen took over that. Like, I feel like Ellen took over half of Oprah's audience once Oprah left.
And now she's getting her comeuppance.
Yeah, for being a horrible boss. That's. It's weird because it's like that's not a oof. Like that's kind of been known, right? Like I feel like I've heard that multiple times over the last 3 or 4 years before this.
Yeah. That's, I do love how the Harry Potter culture has fans that just decided they don't care, like, about the recent stuff.
Yeah, or well, they'll get mad at her, but they still fucking use metaphors for every fucking thing they possibly can with it still.
Well, like, they still, like, unlike all the rest of cancel culture, they still just keep enjoying the thing they like, regardless.
Yeah. It's fair.
Like, boy, we sure are angry at her, but we won't stop giving her money.
Yeah, it's funny because someone posted a thing where it was literally like, I thought J.K. Rowling was this, and they had whatever the nice lady professor is. They're like, but it turns out she's this. And then they showed like the pink lady that's basically supposed to be George W. Bush professor lady, or headmaster lady. But yeah, she's still a billionaire and fucking... Which, whatever, I'd be happy if all the fucking stupid Harry Potter metaphors would go away. Especially in politics, where they're like... Although I did like the thing where it was like... trying to explain third parties to liberals was like... But was by doing Harry Potter, like being like, so you're telling me if you're not a Hufflepuff, you're a Slytherin then, is what you're saying. And I found that really good. Because they'd be like, no, there's not just two things. Also, are you that familiar with Ralph Nader, Gerald?
Nope.
He's a very interesting guy. Ooh, that's in the gap. That'll probably score a run. We'll see if they send him. Yeah, they should send him. It's going to be a double. Oh, it's a double. And whoever's on second's coming home. Coming home. And it scores. And I don't know who just did that. I think it was Baez. Baez with a double. I mean, he had a hit that went off the fence earlier. This one was more of a line drive that went to the gap but ran all the way to the fence and scores. I don't know who scored it. But
sound like you're doing an auction.
Yeah, an auctioneer. Ralph Nader. Since I was younger, I had like what I had been. At least, hey, he'd been framed as a joke of a person. I don't know if it's because it was around the 2000 election that like because people got mad at him at both the 2000 and 2004 elections for quote unquote stealing the election from Al Gore and then John Kerry because he got 500 votes or whatever in Florida or whatever amount it was. No one talks about how Pat Buchanan was probably taking from the Republicans, but that's another thing. But I didn't realize he was like in the 60s how he got his career started was like these car wrecks were happening where people would just get fucking killed really easily in car wrecks. You know, because they didn't have seatbelts and everything was made out of like pointy metal everywhere. And so he like was basically getting engineers to like inform him, like kind of like whistleblower type people. And but then GM like followed it, like basically GM he invaded his privacy, and he won an invasion of privacy suit against GM, and they publicly apologized to him, and he won like $500 and some thousand. Keep in mind, this is $500 and some thousand in like 1970 or whatever. So basically, he got a start of doing that, and he helped, he helped kind of make seatbelts be standard and airbags be a thing, and like to start putting start making material on cars less hardwood and metal and more like rubber stuff that would maybe not just kill you. Yes, and I don't know. There's a documentary on YouTube called "An Unreasonable Man," and it's very interesting. Very interesting. He might have had some stuff to do with helping with like clean water acts, and like I don't know if he helped with EPA stuff, and he might have there too.
What, some kind of axe?
Yes, EPA axe. Oh boy. But yeah, it's funny because everyone got mad at him because in the 2000, and then because they wouldn't let him debate, even though like 67% of people were like, you should let him debate, because the debate commission is like made up of just ex-RNC and DNC chairs, or ROC or whatever the Republican. Is it Republican RNC, or is that?
Sure.
I can never remember. But, the committee, because they're in charge of, like, the committee for the debates or whatever, something, but it's essentially just it's literally just composed of, like, ex-heads of Democrats and Republicans so that they can agree on very limited things. Like, it's really messed up. And they're funded by, like, a bunch of companies. Like, I don't know. It's super weird. But, yeah. It was pretty crazy. It's an interesting documentary. I think you could make an interesting film about the guy.
Well, let's see. Does anyone call him the Nate Dogg?
Nate Dogg. He was like, in the and also like the media like wouldn't pay attention to him. Like he had like a Madison Square Garden thing in 2000 that like 20,000 people came to, and Susan Sarandon, Tim Robbins, and Bill Murray and Michael Moore were all there, and Eddie Vedder played music, and like it was on like page 16 of the New York Times when it was like he had 20,000 people come and had like movie stars and big like yeah. But I'm getting real like, man, if Biden loses this election and and Democrats try and blame it on anyone else, oh my God, right? Can we agree that, oh my God, if there's ever a time where you shouldn't be able to blame losing to Donald Trump in an election, it's this one coming up. Trump's approval rating is at Jimmy Carter levels right now. And at least Jimmy Carter was a good human being, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that was maybe his downfall, was being a president who was a good human being. I can't imagine that, like, there is a sense to it of being like a
Attention, please. Now letting it forward.
having your kindness mistaken for weakness, where if someone's like, oh, this guy's gonna be nice, especially if you're like foreign powers, like, oh, this guy doesn't want war, we can do whatever, like, we can do whatever we want to. He's not a warmonger like everyone, because I feel like I would pretend to be a warmonger, but the exact opposite, you know what I mean? Like, be like, oh, I'll do. That was the one thing that was smart about Nixon, is that when he was negotiating, he told his aides he openly told them to pretend like they thought that Nixon was crazy and wanted to use nuclear weapons. So whenever they would like offer a deal, his aides would be like, please accept this deal. Nixon's insane. We don't know what it'll do if you don't accept this deal.
He beats us.
Yes, exactly. When the treaty's over, can we go home with you? Oh, man. Did you ever watch that documentary about the, what's her name, the Elizabeth Holmes? Is that her name? The Theranos girl, or whatever that name of the company was, where they were like, they like tried to be like, if you use a pinprick of your blood, and we can tell you if you 100 different tests on it.
I don't recall.
Oh, I think that was her name. Yeah. There's a really interesting documentary on her.
Now that is the first baseman.
If you, I think it's on HBO, but it's kind of nuts because she just basically was saying that they had the technology to do things that they didn't, and then they would just use other people's, they just used like other companies' technology to run tests and just use a bunch of their different machines to do the things that they said their one thing would be able to do. But yeah, it's I don't know. It was, and they would be like, "Are you using?" Because they were using like, you know, Siemens. Oh, big open there for you, Gerald. You know Siemens, the company, not the thing you shoot on your screen every night.
Well, then I'm no longer interested
Yeah,
in this
exactly.
conversation.
But they would ask questions that were like, do you use this or that company's this? And they would be like, that's proprietary information. And they're like, how could it be proprietary information if it's not your technology? Like, that's not how proprietary works. Proprietary is if it's your tech that you can't tell how you use. If we're asking if you're using other people's technology, that's not your copyright, that's not proprietary.
It's a good Samaritan thing. They're protecting someone else's secrets.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was super interesting. And it was one of those things where they talked to one of her like teachers when she was like, I want to do this, and her teacher was just like, yeah, that's impossible to do that. And she's like, but I think I can. And it was like some biologist, and they were like, no, like the bioengineer, and the bioengineer was like, that no, you can't, like, you can't. The thing you're proposing is impossible. And she's like, I'll show you. And so then she just pretended like she could. Yeah, and she would just get like ex-secretaries of state to be like heads of the board. She had like Kissinger and like one or two other like ex like secretaries of state and like defense secretary, like a couple other like ex big officials like that to like be on the board, and it just gave it clout because they would be like, well, obviously if Henry Kissinger is on board, because he didn't bomb a bunch of Cambodians. Was that him? I think that was him, right?
Yeah, kind of. He did some shady stuff.
Yeah.
But he must have been a good negotiator if he got, Marilyn Monroe to sleep with him, right?
It wasn't Marilyn Monroe. It was St. John's. What's her name? Judith St. John's or something? Wait, hold on. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Jill St. John. Let's see who it was. Also known as you know in Venture Brothers when Gary is all like, also I'm like 80% sure that's Jill St. John.
Now that is
When the black when the blue morpho and the and Jonas are having sex with those two girls. There's two ladies. He's like, I'm pretty sure that's Jill St. John. And then Nixon makes a joke about it in Futurama too, and they're like, Kissinger, isn't he any good? And he's all like, you looking like that and getting Jill St. John into bed, you'd have to be.
Oh, Kissinger.
Yeah, Jill St. John. Oh, she was a Bond girl.
Which one?
Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah?
The movie, not necessarily the Bond girl.
Yes, fair. She's also in Tony Rome, not to be confused with Tony Romas, which I'm sure you love.
Got me salivating for nothing.
Yes.
44.
Was she maybe a... Hold on. She was... Did you ever watch the old Batman, like the 60s Batman? Like the Adam West Batman? Did you ever...
Yeah?
She's in 2 episodes as the Riddler's Molly.
Ah.
But yeah. So it's the 8th inning. The Cubs are up 3-2. Jill St. John. She's still alive. Jill St. John. Henry. I do like. Do you know the story behind Henry Killinger from Venture Brothers?
No.
When he just it just was. I think he literally just did like a sketch of him, and he was just like, "Hey, look, it's Henry Killinger." And that's his magic murder bag. Like, that's all. That's how they developed the character. Was just a stupid play of Henry Kissinger with Killinger instead. The magic murder bag. Ooh, Anthony Rizzo hits one in the gap. Will it get past the center fielder? Not entirely, but still enough to have runners on the corners with 2 outs. Cubs have a chance here. Anthony Rizzo back and doing well with a home run in the first inning and whatever it was there, and I don't know what he did in between. But Ian Happ's up. He's 0 for 3 on the day. A home run right here could really seal the deal for the game.
Seal the deal, you said.
Seal the deal indeed. Seal the deal indeed. Seal the deal indeed.
Seal. I've been trying to come up with a joke about clubbing Navy SEALs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where the funny is in that.
I mean, there's a lot. There's almost too many places you can go with it? Clubbing. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah. The world's crazy right now. Well, Dan Winkler's coming in to finish this off here. Gerald, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for being here as always.
Giving me the bum's rush?
I'm gonna rush your bum.
Oh.
I know your bum doesn't like to be hurried, but I'm gonna rush it.
My bum takes its time.
It's
You want
fair.
it done fast or you want it done right?
Exactly. Fair enough. But yes, I'll talk to you. I also might send you some stuff to see if you have ideas for, because like I said, I got stuck on the. I'm stuck on you, Gerald. But yes, I'm having trouble getting the story fleshed out for some of the stuff how we were doing it. But yeah. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, sir.
Alrighty.
Take care. Thank you for being here.
Bye.
Strike 3. Dan Winkler strikes out the first batter he faces. Winkler's got 18 saves on the season so far, leading Kenley Jansen. And Kirby Yates. Kirby Yates is a little down the, the small amount of saves separating the top guys right now, but it's a good amount. Good company to be with, just above Kenley Jansen and multiple spots above Kirby Yates. Kirby Yates led the league in saves last year with 42, I believe. Maybe 43. Let's see. I know I've looked this up before. I'm going to say 42. 41 saves. So very good. He pitched 60 innings, 41 saves, 101 strikeouts, with a whip of .89. Yeah, that's really good. What is the ERA? Oh, with an ERA of 1.19. Wow, that was really good. That was a really good season last year. Kirby Yates. 1-2 count to Jorge Alfaro. Oh, and he goes down. Wow, he looked like I know he's a cartoon artist, but he looked very cartoonish there.
Count 1-0. I got to count 2-2. Can't miss, ball.
Oh, I don't like the sound off the bat there. Fuck! Extra innings, probably. God damn it. Unless the Cubs can walk it off. Ah! I wanted to go to the gym. I'm still going to go to the gym, but I thought Jeopardy starts at 8. Golly! Well, I mean, you didn't cheat it. You hit it to dead center and you hit a home run. Probably got a good piece of it. Dan Winkler blows the save. The 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. With a pitch that was right down the middle, it looks like. Let's see here. Yep. Don't know what he expected to happen to that. But it wasn't nothing good. So, 2 outs. Hopefully, we can get past Monty Harrison here.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
Fly ball. This one should be caught. I don't know who's coming up to bat. But Matt Joyce. Not bringing me very much joys. I don't know who's coming up to bat here. Darn it. Wilson Contreras. Now would be a great time for Wilson Contreras to show the player he's been all year for the most part. And just knock one out of the flipping park right now. Because they're leaving in Ryan Stanek, who's already 21 pitches in. So, we'll see. Oh! Hit hard, deep, and gone! First pitch of the bottom of the ninth. Wilson Contreras walks it off. Oh yeah, Donger. So Dan Winkler doesn't get the save, but he gets the win. As Wilson Contreras, already leading the league in home runs at 21, makes it 22. Look at that. Whew. Smoked it right down the middle. And Wilson just... Let's take a look at the... Oh, I thought they were going to give an outline of the arc, but... He hit it hard, he hit it well, he hit it gone. Well, that was fun. Player of the game, Wilson Contreras, obviously. As he, 4 at-bats, 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 home run, 1 run batted in. Nicely done, Wilson. Nicely done. Well, yeah, it was 4. Woo! So that was a back and forth. And just as quickly as the Cubs lost the lead, they regained it and won in the process. So, and that's good because they had 11 hits and then the Marlins only had 6. So, would have been a heartbreaker. Especially, it's unfortunate that, although I don't know if Hendricks would have qualified for the win. I don't know if they were. I think they were maybe up by 1 when he left, but maybe not. But anyway, so the Cubs are a game and a half up. Won 8 of their last 10. Tomorrow, whoops. Or well, tomorrow, whenever I decide to do it, is Yu Darvish versus Jordan Yamamoto for the Marlins, and we'll see what goes on there. Yeah, Yu Darvish looking pretty good so far. Knock on wood this season, 6-1. Yeah, let's see if he can't make it 7-1. Knock on wood. Have a good one, and I'll see you all later.